3 powerful books changing how we live and lead, from escaping burnout and reigniting your marriage, all kinds of inspiration, to building a business that runs without you. How about that? And to finding clarity and purpose in a noisy world. Very relatable. We have author Chantel Ray Finch here today. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, you've got some great stacks of books here. Let's talk about what you're doing to write these books and help people. We need your help.
Yeah.
The first one, Grow, Scale, and Exit.
Yeah. I wanted to teach people how to sell their business for millions, because a lot of people, they think they're building a business, but they're actually just building a job for someone else. And so when they sell, I actually just had a girl, her husband suddenly passed away, and literally he was the one running everything. And so she didn't really have a business to sell. It was just really more of a job. So I want to teach people how to grow, scale, and exit their business so they can actually sell it for millions one day.
Wow, that's great financial advice, I'm sure, in there. Okay, Chantel, you didn't bring the one book. I was looking at your list of the books that you've authored, and it was Delegate Everything But Sex. You forgot that book.
I forgot it. We left it at home. Isn't that funny?
It's a good one. But it's all about really taking control of your time.
Yeah, and honestly, that's why people can't scale their business, because what they do is they delegate it to someone, they do it wrong, and then they take it back, and so they don't know how to delegate. So that book teaches you how to delegate everything but sex.
And the importance of delegating, again, those things that somebody else could do.
Yes.
But yes, you can't do. Okay, from that to this book title, Tune In God's Voice. So talk to us about this book, finding your purpose.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that's so important is if you can't hear God's voice, then you can't ever find his purpose. And so that's what kind of motivated me to write that. And I have some great stories in there about how you can hear God's voice.
What are some of the ways that we can tune in?
Yeah, so one of them is just God's word. Like, I've heard people tell me things like, oh, God told me to cheat on my, spouse, or something like that, or God told me to cheat on my taxes. Well, I can tell you one person that never told you that was God, because God never tells you anything contrary to his word. And so that's one of the ways that you can. And I have a whole acronym of ways that you can hear his voice.
And what about this book, Waste Away? So this is, you're covering everything, Chantel.
I just actually wrote an updated version of that one. It's number 3, but it's all about how I lost 30 pounds doing intermittent fasting. And I've written some other books all about fasting as well, because you can't run a business, you can't live life if you're not feeling well. And so I lost 30 pounds, and I tell you exactly how I did it.
I'm glad that you're spilling the secrets. That's what, you have this great advice. Let's share it with others so they can find the same happiness, the same path. I have a question for you. Look at all these books. Where do you have time to write? That's another book you should write. How to put out a lot of books.
Because I delegate everything but sex, I have time to write these books.
What is it that the best feedback you've gotten from people who have read your books and benefiting from it? Yeah,
I think probably the biggest impact, when you can actually hear God's voice in your life and kind of being able to live in your purpose. A lot of people are kind of doing the same thing over and over, and they know they're not happy. And being able to hear him is probably the biggest impact I've made. But also losing, I interviewed over 1,000 women who had never been on a diet and who are naturally thin. I'd love for you, you're so thin and you have such a great body. I bet you do all of those things.
Thank you for saying that.
Do you diet?
I chased 2 young children. I started having kids late. This is my advice. You're going to put this in the book, but I have my days, but 2 small kids and chase them around, and that helps, and be stressed.
That's awesome.
All that stuff. Thank you so much, Chantel. You're a lot of fun and love what you're doing. We want to share the information with our viewers so you can see it right there, and we appreciate ChantelRay.com. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.